Welcome to Bay Rats and Buoys with your host, Captain Gage.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bay Rats and Buoys. We are live at the 2025 New York Boat Show at the iconic Javits Center in New York City, and I am here with none other Matt Broderick, the editor of the one and only Fisherman magazine. That's the Long Island Metropolitan edition, correct?
That is the right one, yes.
How many do they have? How many books do they have?
So we have three different editions. We have the Long Island Metro, as you just mentioned. We also have the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition, and we have the New England edition.
That's right, the New England guys. Yep. So those are the three. I see them online. So I have the digital version, which is always cool to see.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the book is just great. I mean, I'm in it. My daughter was on the cover of it. Thanks to you. You created a total monster. Now she's a cover girl for life. So I never hear the end of that. And, guys, the Long Island Fisherman magazine is going to be here at the show. You guys have a booth. I mean, you're at all the shows, so it's not like this show. You're at every show.
We're at all the shows.
You guys don't miss a show.
We don't miss a beat.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
You know, it's interesting because our main season is, the fishing season, of course. That's
right,
what we
April through November.
April through November. We're slammed during that season.
Right.
And technically, it's supposed to slow down a little bit in the winter months.
Yeah, no, that's when all the shows are.
Right. But we're so proactive in the winter months with going to these shows and stuff like that, and meeting and greeting people, just being a part of it, because this is what we do during the off season. There's not much fishing to be done. It's been so cold out, that it's been icy.
Yep.
So we are at all the shows, and it does not slow down for us. We are full steam ahead all year long.
And you have one coming up. You're going to another one next week.
I'm going to one on Sunday.
Yeah, right.
Well, this is happening Sunday, but I'm going to be at that flea market on Sunday. We got one the week after that. We got Rocky Point after that. We got one after that as well, I think. So we have one every single weekend. I think we have a little break in the end of February, but then March kicks right off again.
And not because you're a Long Island magazine, you go to shows in Florida. You guys go to shows everywhere. So you're not just limited to the Long Island metropolitan area. You guys travel.
Absolutely.
You're going to be at ICAST.
So ICAST is one of them. We go to ICAST every summer, which is a great event.
That one's in July, right?
In July.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in July. So we go to that every year. I've been to it for the past 4 years.
All right. I'm going for my first time this year, so you'll have to show me the ropes there.
I'll show you the ropes.
Okay.
It's a real experience.
I can't wait.
If you've never been before?
No, I'm so excited, bro.
You are going to flip out when you get there. It's sick. It's sick. But again, so remember, we're Long Island Metro. We're doing this right here. We do all the Long Island stuff. We do that 2 times over. New England and New Jersey. We cover all that with all the shows. Just each team. So, there's the editors from
right.
New Jersey.
You're the editor of Long Island.
And then there's New England. They do the same thing I do in all these areas. Our footprint's huge.
Yeah, it's
We're
huge.
all over the place.
Absolutely.
We really are.
And just like the fishing report, you guys do it in all those. They have their own report. I see it.
Same thing.
And you
so
guys,
whatever I do is duplicated in these other 2 areas. It's a lot of content.
Oh, yeah. No, the content is unbelievable. And not only is it in the magazine, it's digital, and then you got the social media channels that are showing these videos, like you guys putting out a fishing report like that. I know it's because I've worked with you for the past 3 years, and prior to that, I even did Jones Beach report before I was doing the Huntington report, just because I wanted to get involved with you guys. And I thought the reporting thing was, actually so cool. But your video that you put together with Tim and the whole team, because I've said, guys, it's a team effort. This is not just one guy sitting there. There's a lot of work that goes into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, it's a ton of work. And video editing,
yes,
because you've done it before.
Yep.
You've done sound editing,
yep,
stuff like that. You know what goes into it.
100%.
It's not just let's slap this thing together and put it out there kind of thing. I mean,
no.
It's, Tim, and I'm on the video, of course. Dave's on the video up in New England. Jim is on the video on New Jersey. We send all of our stuff to Tim.
Oh, no, poor Tim.
And Tim has it coming from all over the place, and then,
And he's got to piecemeal together.
It's a one-day turnaround.
Wow.
Because this is all very relevant information that we put out in these videos. It's a weekly video we put out. We put it out every week the whole year. So
right, that's 52.
52 weeks.
And he's doing it the day before, because I get the email from you guys, and we get the deadline when it's got to be in. Whether you're throwing whether you're throwing it back to me and I'm throwing my name, if you know I'm going to be in there. But not only is the editing an issue, but you get in front of the camera. So not only you an editor for the magazine, but you actually get in front of the camera, make the video, and the one thing that me and you have in common is that you're not reading a teleprompter. You get out there, you're totally unscripted. It's raw,
right?
And you get it done. And I got to tell you, even from my perspective, it's taken a couple of takes sometimes. Sometimes I got to hit record again, and I'm like,
Well,
I didn't like the way that came out.
Don't look back in the archives at the first videos I ever did. Don't do that.
The mistakes are still there?
It's a little bit, it seems like it's a little like, more scripted, kind of like hesitating.
Yeah.
I mean, but from then to now, it's a totally different. Once you do something for long enough, you know what you do. You get to feel for it more or less.
I met one of my good buddies now. In fact, he's here at Bellevue, NY. He's at the Bellevue Hospital here. He's in the trauma center. One of the great fishermen that I know. He comes out with me. He's a great kayak fisherman. I met him at Scudder Beach, and I was doing the report for the South Shore. And I purposely went to Scudder Beach so I can get the water in the background. And here I am in Northport doing my South Shore report. And, I was talking to all the guys like Tuna Cartel and all the guys that were out there fishing, the young kids, even 18, 19-year-old kids that were catching bluefin tuna in 40 feet of water off of Jones Beach, and getting the good intel from the guys, going down there to report. He sees me making your fishing report for the magazine in the parking lot there, and that's how me and him met and started kayaking together in that area, because he was kayaking in a place where I kayak and fish my whole life. And so even because of the report, I meet people all over the place. And like, oh, I know who you are. You do the report for the magazine, So you get a lot of rapport with people, and you don't realize who's listening until it's amazing.
100%. There's people who say, I talked to, Mark from Cal Harbor,
Of
right?
course, I'm good buddies with Mark and Phil.
Right, but he goes, people recognize me now. I go to the store. They go, oh, you're the guy from the video or something like that.
Right.
I get it. I'm sure you get it. Mark, and everybody gets it.
Tim gets it. They all get it. If you're in the video, you're going to be seen.
It's funny because for a little bit, Tim was doing the videos at one point years ago. He was doing a little bit of the videos. He was the guy that was doing what I did at one point for whatever reason. And he was in the city once, and some guy goes, oh, yeah, you're the guy from the video. And he goes, yeah, it's the one time the guy ever recognized me or something like that. Some random guy in the city. He goes, yeah, that's me.
So believe it or not, I do this Long Island. I do these videos. I do them out of Huntington, and I created the podcast like 17 episodes ago. I have a huge following, and I wouldn't know this until I started the podcast and actually putting it up, and I get the demographics on where the podcast is listened to and downloaded the most. And Brooklyn has to be one of my biggest demographics.
Oh, wow.
It's unbelievable. So you would never even know. I mean, I lived in Sheepshead Bay. I know Brooklyn, but it was a shocking demographic and a number in the statistics to see that many people were actually tuning in from Brooklyn. And here we are, Long Island guys. So you never know who's listening.
Right. 100%.
Tuesday we set up in here. And somebody walks by and they're like, hey, Gage, I have no idea who he was. I don't even know who he was, and now I know him, and he didn't say. And it's got to be because of
we're close enough to Brooklyn.
We're fishing. We're in the field. This is the fishing. It's a boating show.
Yes.
And so you guys are here every year. You go to all the shows. We went over that. And not only are you the editor, I mean, you have a lot of work. You have a lot of stuff on your plate. You make the videos. You edit the magazine. You do a phenomenal job with that. But you get out there and fish as much as I do, and that's scary because you don't get much sleep, that's for sure. Your schedule's got to be wake up, go fish, go work, get the work done, and you probably go fishing after that because you're a lunatic like me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you got to catch the right tide.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to put in the challenge to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And the nice thing is we do get a lot of trips that we get invited on.
Yeah, the one you're going on with Penn.
I'm going on a Penn trip in March. I'm
definitely jealous of that one.
I'm going to catch some redfish. That should be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
But we get a lot of local trips, advertisers, tackle shops, just captains invite us out to fish. And, let's face it, as an editor, my job is to put the magazine together.
Right.
But to be relevant and to be, up to date with what's going on in the fishery and stuff like that. And
got to have your hand on the pulse.
We call it gathering content.
Right.
I got to be out there fishing and getting that next cover shot or taking those pictures of the magazine or creating that next magazine article by just my experience going out there and doing it myself.
Right.
So time on the water fishing is so valuable in this job.
It's valuable, period, to be honest with you, as a charter captain.
And for anybody who likes to fish on Long Island, it's valuable.
It's very, very valuable. Even the surf guys know. I had a gentleman just on. We did an hour podcast, and he was really asking the contrast between the surf guys, the fresh water, and the salt water, and all that stuff. And I said, listen, it's a segregated area. The surf guys are the surf guys. The boating guys are the boating guys. Everybody's got their little world that they're in, but at the end of the day, we're all looking to get a line wet and catch a fish because we all have that same passion. And that's why a podcast like Bay Rats and Buoys brings people together in that community because we all want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. I go down to the dock, I see guys on the dock, we stand around, we talk for 45 minutes about fishing. We're lunatics. There's something wrong with us. Yeah. What are we talking about? What do we need? We're just there down the boat talking just to talk. It's unbelievable.
I agree.
And that's how I started the podcast.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, that's really great stuff. And again, at these shows, a great part of the shows, coming to the shows, is the camaraderie. coming down and talking to people about fishing, what you're going to do this season, what happened to you last season.
The stories.
It's a big part of it.
It
and
really is.
And I have to bring up, we have a seminar series coming up.
Okay.
Did I tell you about this?
No.
February 22nd, we're doing a seminar series at the Huntington Hilton. Now, we do our show at the Huntington Hilton, too, in September.
Right.
We're doing it at the same spot, and we're doing a seminar series. We're having these different panels, different individual topics. It's going to be a little mix of everything.
Okay.
So we're going to have legendary anglers panel.
Right.
It's going to be like 5 or 6 guys who are like, you know, you want to call like the legendary anglers of like our time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The older,
like
the older
Skinners and the Wetzels and
before them.
Even before them. See, so we're going back.
Like
okay.
Before, like the guys who like make
the godfathers of the industry.
Exactly. The guys who are the bridge between how fishing was done back in, I don't know, the 60s.
Right, like the rods we see in the Montauk Museum.
100%.
That stuff.
100%.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Who did that, and they gapped the transition from that older technology to the technology that we use nowadays, that still have that knowledge, that can talk about how things transition from then to now.
Right.
So that's one panel.
Yep.
Then we have a panel of a bunch of charter boat captains around the island.
Yep.
Covering Montauk, North Shore, South Shore, West End, Western Sound. We're going to put them up there. They're going to talk about fishing throughout the season.
Yep.
Their take on everything, you know, just their opinion and, you know, what to look forward to for next season.
Right.
And we have a few individual topics going on, too, on surf, inshore, and offshore seminars.
Right. So,
So
you're
there's
gonna cover. So you cover for everybody. So there's a little bit for everybody.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
You know, there's a lot of good names in there, and the ad's going to come out in the February issue of the magazine.
Awesome.
All the information, so everybody can check that out. It's a limited seating too, so you know if you are interested in this, it's $250. We're only bringing into this event.
250 people.
Seats.
250 seats.
Yeah, so you can hop on the website and buy the tickets.
So those are tickets you want to get in advance. That's not something you're going to wait for the door because you might miss.
It's
Yeah,
only advance.
It's going to be sold out.
Yeah, once it's sold out, that's it. But it's a good event. It's going to be really good.
That's the week. That's the week after my birthday. I'm definitely in. I'm definitely coming 100%. And you know, we mentioned Montauk and the equipment that they have in the museum there. So we're talking about that. Like, who made Montauk the surf capital, surf casting capital of the world? Where did that become?
So have you ever seen the pictures of the guys? They were dressed in suits.
Yeah.
And they would walk out on the big docks.
Yeah.
Those are probably the guys. Those are the guys who started.
Those are the guys that had to start this, right? Because you see that equipment there.
Those are the old surf clubs. Those docks. They would walk out on them. I don't know exactly the history behind it. I'd probably have to refer to one of these guys who could actually
a historian,
knew somebody who did that.
Yes,
one of these older gentlemen who fished.
Right.
But I think that those docks were all owned by like the surf clubs and stuff like that, and they would, you know, that would be their dock or something. They'd walk out and they'd cast these conventional reels with a linen line on them or something like that for striped bass off these docks. And, you know, they were wearing top hats and suits while doing it the whole time.
Right. They looked like they were going golfing.
They were dressed like gentlemen. They were fishing like gentlemen.
Yeah,
you know?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable how the times have changed.
Yes.
How it's transitioned, you know, and that's one example of the complete technology change from back then to now.
That's right. The technology changed. And you look at places like Cold Spring Harbor where you have Whalers Cove. You know, a lot of the cities here on Long Island were whaler cities. You didn't even realize back then. That's where, you know, when I was in high school, Northport had 80 lobster boats in Northport. It was a big business. There were lobster boats everywhere. It was a big business.
100%. Look at like Sag Harbor.
Right.
They said it back in the day when it was a whaling port, you could smell. The smell from Sag Harbor area was so
on the East End.
Potent.
You knew it was coming from.
It was so potent
You knew what
because
it was.
of all the whales that they were killing and bringing into port, and you could smell from a long distance away. You know, and that's some of that historic. There's a Sag Harbor Whaling Museum too. I believe.
Right. Yep.
I'm sure you can learn a lot of that information in a place like that and what they used to do back then.
Yeah. So you got talking about the guys that started it all. That's where that all comes into. This all started somewhere, guys. You know, and Long Island. That's where us being involved in it. There's so much history here that when you go into these towns, you realize that you know the old guys that came up before us. Like what Billy Joel sings in his song, and his dad was a striped bass fisherman, and then all of a sudden he couldn't make a living doing it anymore, and regulations changed, and you know everything evolved, you know, and for good reason.
Yeah,
everything had to evolve, otherwise we'd be like Israel right now. Corey, my first mate, he's from Israel. There's no regulations there.
Right.
They have no fishing regulations, so the fishing is horrible.
Right.
And we have regulations, and we have amazing fishing.
Yeah.
And man, did we get lucky this year? Let's talk about that for a second. How did we scapegoat that one? Where that was pretty close call.
Which one?
The striped bass vote, you know, which way that was.
Well, you know, I mean, They put it off for 25.
Right.
They're going to revisit in 26, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I think what they're saying is they don't have enough information.
That's right. There's not enough data to make the big decision.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There's not enough data to make this big decision, which, the decision
it affects
ultimately will affect a lot of people.
Yeah, millions of dollars in an industry.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day.
Which way it goes. So, for them to do this, I think that's a smart decision for them to.
I was so happy because that would affect my charter business.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
So. And I do the right thing. So people come on the charter, they're allowed to keep whatever they want, 28 to 31, they can keep it. And I throw everything back. And in the videos, we release it, we catch it, we release it, we throw it back. I even go as far as I have hundreds of tags on my boat. Mm-hmm. I tag these bass as fast as we can. We get them on the boat, we tag them, boom, and they're in the water. We don't even take a picture. Right. They're gone. And they want me tagging the schoolies. They want me tagging the rats, the rinks, the dinks, the small, whatever one you get. And I got to be honest, last year we didn't catch until the last day of the season. That's when we got on the schools of the really small bass that were just, that's when the season's coming to an end.
Right.
When it's all, birds are working, there's hundreds of birds, millions of fish, and it's all small stuff.
So how was your blackfish year?
We didn't have such a great blackfish year. Okay. It wasn't great. I got to be honest. I don't do 100 blackfish trips, so I'm not a giant blackfishing charter guy. Mm-hmm. I can say this: we were catching keeper blackfish right from my dock in Huntington.
Yeah, that's fun.
I put the GoPro down, I put the green crab down, and I'm telling you right now, 16 to 17-inch fish all day at the dock.
Yeah.
And then I get striped bass to come up after them. I would tell people, I'll bet you $100 that a striped bass comes after one of the 5 fish that you catch right there.
Those are like your pets, right?
They come up after it. It's unbelievable.
You can train them, because I know at Montauk Anglers Club, they have like residential striped bass in their marina, and they feed them, and they're trained to just stay around there because they know there's a food source coming from there.
That's right.
So you could probably make little pets for yourself in your off your dock over there.
I always say I want to have a pet cormorant because I want to put the GoPro on them and let them fly down and go find me. You see where the fish are. And it's funny I say that. This year we caught a cormorant. We got some line wrapped around his wing. But as far as the feeding the fish and the pets, in Florida, I get back from blackfin tuna and sail fishing. I took my nephews out, and we're feeding 6-7 foot tarpon at the dock. And these are pets in their slip. They're there every day, and they just feed them, hand feed them. It was unbelievable. I said, I'd love to just hook up to one with my fly rod. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, you'd be broken off in a second with the poles and everything, all the pillars that are here. Yeah. But that was so cool to see.
They know where the food is.
Yeah, they know
where they hang out there.
And they're right there in the water. You just see them. They're not even hiding. They're like, here I am, feed me.
I've been to a few places in the Keys like that.
It was so cool. This year, guys, if you sign up for the magazine at the New York Boat Show or any show, fishing show, boat show that you see these guys at, they are giving away what I think is the coolest pair of pliers. I actually compared this in quality to my Van Stalls, which are an expensive pair.
Yeah. They're very nice pliers. So this year, you sign up for the magazine at any of the shows. We're going to be at this show. We're going to be the one after. Another week, we're going to be at another one. The ones in Jersey, the ones in New England. We're going to be at a ton of shows. We're loaded with these things. They're the 7.5 inch, and we have the 6.5 also Danko pliers.
Okay.
Great pliers, heavy duty. They
got nice weight to it.
They're nice weight, whether you're in the surf, you're from the boat, whatever you're doing.
We said they sink just like my Van Stalls.
They'll sink.
You said that. You actually said they'll sink just like my.
You can lose them just as easily. Belt loop on them for the surf.
Right.
Or on the boat, whatever you want to do.
Yep.
Again, great pliers.
Yeah.
Great value in themselves.
Absolutely.
If you sign up for the magazine, and again, the magazine is 12 print issues a year, 38 issues in total, including all the digital issues from April all the way through the end of November. And I got to mention, you can enter into the Dream Boat Challenge.
Okay, yeah.
We give away the boat every year.
Yeah.
This contest.
Which boat is it?
Steiger.
It is the Steiger. I didn't want to say it until you said. I knew it was,
so we gave away the 21 Steiger last year.
I don't want to say the wrong company and give them a plug.
We gave away the 21 Steiger last year. We also do other challenges like the Coast.
Another great Long Island company.
And you got to be part of the magazine. They are.
And
that's a great company.
That's
great people, too, right in Bellport. I've been down to the plant many times.
I talked about it earlier with another product, and I said I love staying local. I love supporting local businesses. 100%. So it's great when we can help out and give anybody any kind of exposure locally or help them market and do whatever we can do, especially with social media and stuff. But Steiger, they're here at the show.
They're at the show. Great people.
Yep.
Great boats. Great fishing boats.
Oh, they're beautiful. They're great. They really are.
Great boats for fishing, just going out, hanging out and stuff like that.
It's the perfect boat for Long Island.
It's a great boat for
It really is.
It really is.
You can get out there in any weather. If it's raining, you can still go.
Yes, 100%.
You know, and
Very
that's-
seaworthy boats.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
So,
like I was saying, we gave away the 21 this past year. The winner got the 21 of the Dreamboat Challenge with the Yamaha in the back.
wow.
We do the Coastal Kayak Class too, which we give away a kayak at the end of it. So if you are part of the magazine,
It's free to enter.
You're automatically entered. It's
Whoa.
not free to enter.
Okay, you're entered.
You can't be in the challenge unless you're part of the magazine.
Right.
So you
Okay.
have-
So you have to be
you're
a
in it.
subscriber. You have to be a subscriber to the
subscriber, you're
magazine,
in.
and you're automatically
You're
in.
automatically
There's
in.
no fee to enter.
Yeah, 100%.
And how do you win the boat? Is it just a raffle, or do you catch the biggest fish?
No,
Is
so
it?
it's an accumulation of points throughout the fishing season. So there's like 7 different species that you can enter species in.
Okay.
It's 1 through 10. There's minimum weight qualifications. You weigh them into a participating tackle shop. There you have to get signed off on a certified scale. But you get that fish up there. You accumulate enough points, you win the boat at the end of the year.
Give me an example. The guy that won it is like what was it? What did it take to win the boat?
So the guy that won it, Kyle, he's from Long Island. He's from Cutchogue. So he kept it on the island.
Nice. Yeah. That's if a Jersey guy wins and he's got to do a jug handler with it. I'm not happy.
I said, come on, man, keep
Yeah,
it on,
me
he
Jersey.
kept it on the island this year. So
Cutchogue out east.
Cutchogue. So he, you don't have to, and I tell guys all the time, I said, you don't have to catch the biggest fish
Okay.
in each category to win.
Okay.
There's 10 categories. I mean, there's 7 categories, 10 slots.
Is Sea Robin a category?
It is.
You hear that,
It
Larry
is.
Shavara? You're in.
It is. Sea Robin's a category. First spot is 10 points. Second biggest in that category is 9 points.
Okay.
Goes on, so on and so forth.
Right.
You do not have to get.
So you could
first
get
in
all
that.
8s and still win
The
because
guy who would have got, if he got all 8s in all categories, he would have won.
guaranteed winner, right?
He
Because
probably would have a guaranteed winner. 'Cause
nobody's
you would've
getting
got-
all 10s.
You would have got 7 points in 7 categories, I think, Kaya.
49 points. What
I
won
don't
it?
think, I don't think you have 49 points.
Really?
So if you got third in every category, you have a shot, a good
All right,
shot to win.
I'm calculating my fish this year. I'm in. I knew there was a system. I knew there was a way.
But I tell you again, don't get discouraged if you're in it. There's ways you can make up points. You don't have to get the biggest fish in every single one. You can piece here, piece there, and at the end of it, you could be in the top 3. You could be even number 1.
Just get 'em.
Second place is even a great prize.
Second place is the first place loser, but just get in it. You got to be in it. So
Yes.
until you start, and that's what I always say. It's just like the podcast. I'm in 17 episodes, and I'm sitting on the back of my boat. It's episode 1, and it's just like, just sit down and do it.
Right.
Just get it out there.
Yeah.
It's just get a line wet, catch the fish, enter the
Gotta be
contest,
in it
put
to
it
win
in there.
man.
If you
Gotta
don't,
be in it to win it.
and you know what, it does take a little bit of work to enter something like that. You
It
got-
does. There's a
you know,
dedication factor.
Yeah,
involved.
there's a
But
dedication.
if you're tactical about it, if you know where to go for certain species or certain times of the year,
That's right.
you're going to up your odds.
And now you're going to go to a local weigh station. So in my area, I'm going to a guy like Mark at Cow Harbor.
You can weigh in all the fish you want at Market Cow Harbor.
I got a gentleman coming up here tomorrow to work the booth with me. He's flying up from South Carolina, and I met him because of Mark at Cow Harbor, and we talked about that in the last episode of 2024. He was in my last episode to close out the season. So we talk about Mark and Phil all the time. And they would be the local weigh-in station for me to go in Northport and register these fish if I'm going to do it.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so Mark, I'm bringing fish to you. You're going to register me, and you're going to help me win the Steiger. All right, buddy? You hearing me? Hint, hint. I'm
Yeah,
bringing
man.
fish. Sea Robins, too. I can't believe the
Robins
record
count.
is like 4 pounds, 8 ounces. The record,
Something crazy
We
like
all
that.
think we're catching like 5-pound sea robins sometimes.
No.
They're not even close.
You know, a lot of the time,
Their wings are out to here. It's
I know. They seem so big, and they're not. As
and
big
they're
as
not.
They are.
No. And I have a scale on my. I have a really nice digital scale. Really
You
nice.
got the no wire scale.
Yeah, I got the.
But
I
the
got
guy's
a
stuck on. That's 10 pounds. Oh, up. Here's the scale.
Yeah, so I got a digital one that we lay it down, we put a board across it, and it has the cord like this coming off of it with the remote control screen, so that you can look over here and see that it's 50 pounds. We had a fish this year that was 47. A bass was 47.6 pounds. That was the biggest
Nice
bass I
fish.
had on my
Yeah,
charters
beautiful
this year.
fish.
Yeah, so young kid too, like a 24-year-old kid.
That's
caught
awesome.
it.
I'll
Yeah,
never forget that fish.
No, forget it. The whole trip, his father, the 2 brothers, they're still talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stuff like that that's why we live on Long Island. I tell people, you get out there and catch a 50-pound fish, that's the fish of a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
If you catch 2 of those, that's like hitting a hole in one. It's just, you're lucky to catch it. So,
Yeah.
I love the tournament. I'm in on anything. Now, do you want to tell, you guys have on your website and in your social media all these shows that you're going to be at. So if I wanted to stop
Absolutely.
down to some of these,
Yeah.
I can go look it out, and the listeners on the podcast, they can come along and follow. What's the next Long Island show?
So I will be personally at the fishing flea market this upcoming Sunday.
This Sunday, the 26th.
This Sunday the 26th, I'll be there.
Okay.
The week after that is a Route 110 fishing flea market. We will be there as well.
Okay.
The week after that is a Freeport fishing flea market. We will be there as well. And then the week after that is the Rocky Point fishing flea market at the high school, and we will be there too.
And I knew you would know where you were going to be and all the information. That's why you're so great.
And it's all on the website too.
That's why you're the editor of the magazine, and you do an amazing job, and you do a lot of work at it. I can tell you do, and I know you're really passionate about it, which makes it even cooler. But guys, you heard about the shows that he just mentioned to be at. So those shows you can go to, and if you sign up for the magazine, limited. You might get it while supplies last. It's worth it to go sign up at one of those flea markets. So
100%.
definitely stop on by. And what booth are you guys here at the show? Do you know what number booth you're at?
I think 659 or something like that.
All right.
It's right.
You're on the corner.
If you know where Bay Rats and Buoys is, it's
Yeah,
right
with
around the corner.
1260, just go around the corner, and
around
you're
the
on the outside.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Yeah, so they're here at the show. They'll be here till Sunday, 6 o'clock. This show shuts down, so you still got all day today until 8 p.m. You got Friday, 12 to 8. You got Saturday, 10 to 8. That's an all-day one Saturday. That's going to be a long day here. And then Sunday is 10 to 6 p.m., and the show's over.
Correct.
And we're done here. So
But
if you
that's
guys...
not the only show. There's more
No,
show.
but
We
that's
got
this
more
show. If you're in the area, if you're
Yes,
New York, Brooklyn,
yes.
Staten Island, this is the easiest one for you to get to. You get over to Penn Station, jump in a cab. It's $12 to get over to the Javits Center, and you buy a ticket and come on in and check it out. This year, now this is the New York Boat Show, and it's all boats. This year, Chris from Pelagic decided at the last minute that he's going to jump into the show. And he has 6 booths set up over here.
I see that. He's got a lot of nice stuff over there.
He's got all the tuna gear and anything you need. And on top of that, if you buy something here, he'll ship it home for you for free. So you don't have to leave the shop. You don't have to leave the show with it and think you got to get on Penn Station with a 7-foot rod.
I'm looking over there right now. I don't know if I'd be walking in Penn Station with those 130s he's got over there.
Yeah, so, that's funny. He just came over to the booth and we were talking, and I said to him, when I came to your shop, you took me in the back and you showed me Bobby from Really Buggin' on Wicked Tuna.
Yeah.
And he took me into the back and he showed me his 130 that was sitting in a milk crate. And now you're talking a big milk crate. This one reel took up 3/4 of the milk crate. I like to say it's the size of a head with a crank on it.
It's a big reel.
That's how big it is.
It's a big reel.
It is a big reel.
Yes,
We were just talking about that. So yeah, if you're in town for any tuna gear, there are Long Island fishing shows, fishing guys here that are selling gears. The only one here selling it. Otherwise, you're going to come and check out all these cool boats. The boats are amazing. The exhibitors are great. We got Long Island Fisherman magazine in the house, one of the best editors I know. That's Matt Broderick. You guys can reach him on all the social media. I will put links to everything that he's talking about in the description of the video. So if you guys want to check it out,
100%.
you guys can head on over and check out Fisherman magazine.
Absolutely. I look forward to seeing everybody at the shows. I want to hear about their fishing. I want to hear what they're doing this year coming up. I want to hear about last year. Show me your photos. Send them over to me.
I was just going to say, you guys have a good photo section in the back for everybody. You can all submit photos. In fact, at the top of the page, it tells you where to do it. So you get the email address. Submit your photos. You get in the magazine. I know there's always kids.
I got to say something.
Go
If
ahead.
the photo is really good,
If it's
it ends up on the cover
Now-
like this one right here.
Now, I took this with my iPhone. It's my daughter. She's in the Connecticut River. And let's explain that for 1 second, because you did say to me, that there's a voting process. She wasn't the only picture that month to be selected.
There's always options.
There's always different
it's
pictures,
Whatever one
but-
seems best for the stories in the magazine.
Right.
The time of the year.
The time of the year. This was March.
Yeah, yes.
Perfect Connecticut River photo. She's got
100%.
the fish in the net, in the river. She's got a Cabela's hat on with her waders in the water. I took this picture with my iPhone, and that's what it takes to be a cover photo. And I got to get on the cover because
iPhones take great photos. I tell people I've pulled off covers myself with iPhones.
You don't need fancy equipment, guys.
You don't always need fancy equipment.
Just make sure you hit that screen to focus it. That's really
And
the
make it
most
vertical,
important. And
up and down.
always do vertical. Don't do any
you gotta go
horizontals.
up and down, and you got to leave room for the logo up
I mean,
top
it's
and
perfect
the
how her
callouts.
name is up in the.
This is a very ideal cover shot.
Picture, yeah.
As far as the callouts go, up top.
The layout, she was on
She's
that
smiling
side.
like,
Yeah.
you know, she caught
Dude,
the
you
biggest
had her
fish in
giving
the
out
world.
autographs at the Ward Melville show. You created a
As she should
monster.
have been. As she should have been.
And she was there at the show. She wore the Cabela's hat to the show because this magazine.
I got the photo of me holding the book with her next
with
to me.
her, yes.
I got that
So do
photo.
we.
I
It's
got
in
the
my
photo.
house. It's printed.
It's a great photo, man.
Yeah, so that's what's great, guys. Getting the kids involved, getting them involved, and the Fisherman magazine, no better place to do it. Send your photos in. Love to see the kids get involved in fishing. It's one of the greatest passions that I have, and I love sharing my passion and teaching the younger generation the proper way to get involved, the right way to do it, so that we have a great fishery when they're my age and that we don't have to worry about shutting down the striped bass because we weren't doing it right.
It's our future.
It's our future.
The youth is our future.
100%.
I always tell people that.
Teach them the
These
right
are
way.
The most important anglers out there sometimes.
Absolutely. Matt, I got to tell you, I was excited because, you know, I spoke to Tim, I spoke to you, and I knew you were going to be at the show, and I knew I was going to be able to do my podcast with you, which is super exciting because we work with the reports all year long, but I just send you guys stuff, and you put it in. You guys put the report together, and I love being a part of that. But having you on Bay Rats and Buoys means the world to me, so I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule here at the show.
Hey,
and jumping on.
I'm super happy to be a part of it, man.
Yeah,
I really am. And I said I would the other day I'd come on down, and here I am.
That's right, exactly. Unscripted, totally raw, guys. No teleprompter. This was it. So, Matt,
Dude,
awesome, guys.
thank you, man.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Bay Rats and Buoys signing out. Captain Gage from the Javits Center. Let's go.